Everybody, take cover!
118, brace for impact!
Yeah, so believe it or not, that was the show 911, and that was the trailer for their new show. You've probably seen memes on the internet of this show, from this like trailer from this show 911, because everyone's making memes about that new trailer, right? Over the past couple of weeks, everyone has been making memes of this because it's just so laughably stupid. Like, I can't believe, like, the directors and the writers and all of this were like, yes, this is how the trailer's gonna be. Yup, this is how we're gonna make the trailer. It's just gonna make more people want to watch it. And if anything, the only reason why more people are gonna watch it is because they just want to see how fucking goofy this show gets. Not because it's an actual good show that they might want to watch. And I'm just here to tell you, you're not really missing out on anything by deciding not to watch this show. But hey, I'm not your mom. Whatever. You could do whatever you want. I mean, I don't really know. Like, you could do whatever you want. So right as we dive into the show, we're going to talk about some of my favorite clips from this show. You know, I'm just going to make fun of it, just, you know, laugh about it. I'm not going to try to show too many clips because I don't want this video to get copyrighted and taken down. So I'm probably just going to show like gameplay of whatever game I'm playing or whatever. So yeah. So the show starts off with 911 operator Abby Clark, and her life is pretty difficult because not only does she have to take care of her dying mother, which has Alzheimer's, she also has to take care of all these 911 calls, right? Especially when there's chicken nuggets involved.
911, what's your emergency?
Yeah, I'm in the drive-thru and they only gave me 6 nuggets in my 9-piece, and this bitch manager won't give me my extra nugs.
Ma'am, it's against the law to call 911 with a non-emergency. Eat your nuggets, get some perspective, and get the hell off my line.
Whoa. That bitch most definitely needed all her chicken nuggets. That was most certainly an emergency. How dare that 911 operator end the call with her? That is not illegal, okay? Asking for more chicken nuggets, especially when you didn't get all of them, is most certainly not a crime. You need your chicken nuggets to live. Very important. Very important, and shame on that 911 operator. In all seriousness, there's a lot of drama on this show, and that's kind of the thing that I hate the most about this show. There's literally more drama on this show than a fucking Hispanic telenovela, bro. Like, I'm not even gonna fuck with you. That's just how most of these episodes go from this show. And it's also, I feel like the show's also like really predictable, which it's just kind of like whatever. I mean, I don't know about you, but I don't really like watching a show that's predictable and like you can actually like already predict the outcome. Doesn't really make it that enjoyable to watch, in my opinion. The next character we get introduced to is Buck, and he's kind of a fuckboy, not gonna lie. That weren't already apparent, from the first watching of this episode. That's how we get introduced to him, him doing some freaky ass gooning shit, not gonna lie. That's how we get introduced to him, and hey, I'm not complaining, I ain't complaining. And because this guy's a fuckboy, he almost gets kicked off of being a firefighter, right? He almost gets fired from doing that because obviously they don't want you doing that on the job. You can't be, getting in some freaky shit while you're at work, right? If that weren't already obvious and apparent. So the first 911 call that we really do get introduced to in the call, the main meat of this episode is a baby that got flushed down the toilet. Motherfucker got spawn killed by the mother, and now it's in the tube, and now it's in the, in the sewage, in the, the tubes, whatever, the plumbing. Fuck, that's the right word that I'm looking for. Fuck, I literally can't think today. So anyway, the baby got flushed down the toilet and now is in the plumbing, and now they're trying to figure out how the fuck do we get this baby without, killing it, if it's even alive, so to speak. And of course, Buck, we'll just call him Fuckboy because that's really what he is. Mr. Fuckboy decides to, hey, let's just grab a axe and start randomly hitting the wall. To which all the other first responders were like, no, let's not do that because you might hit a baby, right? Let's use a saw instead. That way we accidentally saw the baby without further inspection of the wall. Yeah, I like how they were like, no, let's not use an axe, and then they immediately use a saw, which arguably is more dangerous because they could literally just saw into a fucking baby and cut it in half. But hey, what do I know? I'm not a first responder. I'm not a baby rescuer expert. I don't know. I've never dealt with something like this before. Then we get introduced to one of the family members of the first responders, the police officer to be exact, and we find out that the husband of the wife is actually a little zesty. I don't really know why they included that in the episode. I mean, my therapist is also a little zesty. It's okay. You know, we're all a little zesty. In all seriousness, I don't really care if shows introduce like a gay character or whatever. To each their own. I mean, if you want to identify as a fucking dog, for fuck's sake, go ahead and do that by all means. I mean, I ain't judging. I ain't gonna judge, not gonna lie. It's the big 2025. I mean, you can do whatever you want, you know, as long as it makes you happy and you're not hurting anyone, I suppose. Now, the girl, upon hearing this information, she decides to attempt to unalive herself a few episodes later. Now, I'm no expert by any means, but I really don't think that using opioids to unalive yourself is the right course of action to hearing that your dad is a little zesty. Not an expert by any means. I'm just saying, I don't really think that's the right course of action, but hey, what do I know?
You were perfectly happy to deny what you could clearly see about me. And I said that I wanted those kids too. Don't you forget that.
Him saying, "Don't you forget that," honestly made me realize how fake the acting on this show can feel at times. Like, I don't know how to explain it, but sometimes it literally feels like I'm watching a Darman episode. It's a little hard to watch. I'm not gonna fuck with you. And yeah, that's just how most of these episodes go. It's a lot of drama behind it, and not much of anything else. That's what I find kind of annoying. And of course, now we get introduced to Buck again, and Mr. Fuckboy is... You know, I'll just play the clip for you. Maybe you can use your imagination.
I'll be at home. Alone.
You're fired.
What? Wait, that's not fair. You said I got 3 strikes.
Doesn't matter. You made this choice yourself and you rubbed it in my face. The same exact infraction 2 days after I wrote you up. It's not 1950 anymore, Buck. We work with women side by side. When you swing your dick around, you disrespect them.
Wait, Buck, I think I may be a sex addict.
Guys, guess what? The sky is also blue. Did you know that? Did you know that? The sky is also blue. Okay, in all seriousness, I like how he had to say that to his coworker that he's a sex addict. Like, that wasn't already obvious from all the amount of people he's just casually hooked up with. Like, I like how he just had to say, put that out there, you know, just let everyone know. You know what I thought was one of the funniest 911 calls? Was the call about the guy who was about to get attacked by some dogs. And you know what the police officer decides to do in response to this call? She decides to go to the drive-thru, buy some cheeseburgers, and distract the dogs with the cheeseburgers. I don't know what the writers were thinking. Like, that is the most unrealistic, like, plot point that I have ever heard in my life. Why would you just quickly go through the drive-thru, get some cheeseburgers, and throw them to the dogs in hopes that they're gonna get distracted and not attack the man that's about to get attacked by these vicious dogs? Like, that is just the most goofiest and silliest thing I've ever, like, heard. And I can't laugh. I can't help but laugh at it. I just can't. It's just too goofy. But yeah, that's the end of this video. Let me know what you think of 911. Do you like the show? Do you hate the show? Yeah, I was just kind of talking about a couple things that I thought were kind of goofy to laugh at and point out at the show. But yeah, let me know what you think of this show in the comments below, and I'll see you guys in the next one.